Formula One circus has made its way to the southern coast of Portugal this week, and it's preparing for what I expect to be a terrific race here in Portimao. .9 miles of track at Portimao, featuring 15 turns, 9 to the right and 6 to the left. There's a lot going on here, a lot of elevation changes that will affect the driver's braking and acceleration. Keep an eye out for the DRS zone on the final straight. That will be the setup for a lot of today's overtaking chances. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course, you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Bottas, Daniel Ricciardo and Norris, Sainz, Leclerc, Gasly and Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Tsunoda, Sebastian Vettel and Stroll, Russell, the Professor, Mick Schumacher and Nicholas Latifi, Giovinazzi, Sato, Mazepin and Kimi Raikkonen finishes off the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
Well, it looks like another tough day of racing. We're starting in 16th place. Through practice and qualifying, we couldn't balance the characteristics of a car with high downforce versus top speed. And here is our strategy for the race. We have 2 reds and 1 yellow at the end, so we're looking for 2 pit stops. And it looks like a sunny day here in Portimao. Fuel tank is full, so we're not able to add any more.
Here is a map of Portimao. We are starting at the bottom of your screen, and we are going to be going clockwise.
Power unit cycles, so let's concentrate on bringing tires and brakes up to temperature.
So a long sprint down to turn 1, and the right-hander right here. And you don't want to touch the yellow sausage curb. Same here with turn 2. Turn 3, a very slow right-hander. And you will accelerate uphill here through turn 4, and you are balancing grip and throttle through turn 5. And that will do it for our first DRS zone. Coming into turn 5 here. Going up again. Left turn into turn 6.
No rain expected for the time being.
Right turn into turn 7 here. Again, don't want to touch the sausage curb. Another right into turn 8, and we are going to be going uphill again, struggling for grip as we accelerate up. Turn 9, a sweeping left-hander. Turn 10, turn 11. And the sausage curbs here are pretty high, and even the regular curbs here will usually unbalance the car. Turn 13. Turn 14 here, and you have to kind of decide where you want to exit here on the long straight through turn 15. And some cars we've noticed here are lifting, maybe because of low downforce, but our car is able to actually stay on the throttle down the main straight. And back to the grid through the start finish line. Just wait, and the cars are ready to go. And the race is on. So we were able to actually accelerate out pretty well. Not too much loss of traction, although we did have a blip there. And we were able to catch it. So you see here on my right, the teammate Marino Sato is actually able to go around a little bit, but he runs into the turn and has to back off. And right away you can see there the Alpine has separated himself, but we were able to get back around here, and we kind of dive into the turn, and we're able to get around him for now. So lap 1, the cars have separated themselves, and you can see here that we do have a reasonable amount of space. Here we are racing with, I believe that is Sonoda. Just behind us, he almost made it around. Turn 3.
There's been an incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now. Just be careful.
Back at the 66 from one of the Alpines. Now I believe that would be the Ferrari. And that is Charles Leclerc just ahead of us.
DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
So lap 3 now, you can see that the cars are definitely stretched out. Plenty of room here to conserve the car. Leclerc is battling with Gasly up there. So Gasly's pretty fast. He had a very good start. Turn 6. And you can see there how steep the climb is out of 8. So there's a lot of times when you're on the tarmac but looking up at the sky. Here's a replay of the start. And we'll get to see what happened on the track. Obviously it was all behind us, and you can see here that there's a big gaggle of cars right behind us. You can see there's a collision between one of the Williams and one of the Haas. And right away you can see that the cars are starting to fall back. There is some damage, of course, but again, not enough for a yellow flag. There we are battling with one of the Williams, and I believe that is Sebastian Vettel right there. So this is Lance Stroll. I believe he's got damage. Can't see too much of the wing there, and it looks like it's all there, but he is coming in. Again, this is a replay of lap 2 after the start. Yep, you can see he's getting a front wing replacement, and you can see there's 3 other cars coming in. I believe one of the cars there is a Haas. I saw a couple of wings being replaced. That is one of the Williams' new wing. And that would be Latifi. This is Mick Schumacher. Can't quite tell if Mick had a wing replacement, but otherwise that's what he would have come into the pits for. And Giovinazzi also came in. So back to the race now. We are riding with Pierre Gasly, looking back at the 66. I believe Leclerc has gotten around him. And we get around Pierre Gasly as well through turn 3. And it's actually a good passing spot as the cars are moving slow. If you leave the door open just momentarily, another car can certainly come through. Turn 5. So you can see they're coming out of turn 8, going up the hill. We don't have a lot of traction, and the car behind is actually able to get right back under our wing. And I believe that Gasly has a lot less downforce than we do. You can see that in the curvy sections here that we're able to get away, but here you can see that because we didn't have the lift coming through 15, we actually gain a little bit of distance from him. So lap 6, right ahead of us, is the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. Still racing with Pierre Gasly here in lap 6. You can see all the elevation changes here on Portimao. And 2021 is actually only the second year that Formula One has raced here. And Portimao in Portugal here was actually constructed in 2008. So it's a relatively new track. Uphill out of 8. Downhill out of 11. 12. Back uphill through 13. And down to 14. And the exit out of 14 is actually very important because you will be full throttle all the way through the end of the straight here to turn 1. And you can see here that Gasly has his TRS open, so he's got quite a bit more speed than we do. However, we are able to make it through the turn at turn 1 before he does, and we're able to keep him behind. Now we'll see exactly where Gasly has an advantage. Very nice wide open track with a lot of runoff. And looks like a lot of very good vantage points if you should see the race in person. Turn 14 here, you can see we're coming out. We're going to be on the throttle all the way. 15. And you can see that we're able to stretch out some distance between us. Now the wide turn 15 is actually very tricky. If you are on the outside, you'll actually be running in a very dirty part of the track, and you'll drive off course or off the track as if you have no grip, and that will happen to us eventually, as you will see. So definitely the uphill out of turn 8 is where Gasly has a lot of advantage over us. You can see that he's right back under our wing. And it is a very wide track, and there are many paths to take around. So if we leave the door open, he'll certainly find a way around. And you can see here out of 15, we don't lift at all.
Yellow flag.
So yellow flag, I don't know what for. Back to green.
Some
And
information on Leclerc. They're retiring from the race.
that was Leclerc on the left by the guardrails. Here's a replay of what happened to Charles Leclerc. Oh, looks like a major engine blow-up. So it is done for the day. Back with Pierre Gasly and the AlphaTauri looking at the 66 just ahead. So it looks like he's actually very good at braking, so he might have the brake balance right along with the roll bars. And you can see there that he did have to lift coming through 15, and it's going to give us an advantage of getting away just a little bit. He is still within 1 second of us, so he is able to use his DRS, and you'll see that he'll quickly be back under our wing. Now you can see there on the lower right of the screen the wear indicators for the tires, and we're at about 21%. They are wearing rather evenly, so that's quite satisfactory. And we'll never take the wear down to 50%. And our first pit stop's actually scheduled at 20 laps, so we should be right on target for our first pit stop. Going a little bit offline there through the last part of the lap. And here down the straight we are actually towing Gasly. He does decide to take the outside even with his DRS, and he's just not far ahead enough, so we're able to keep our place. Just a glimpse there. In the background you saw 4 or 5 other cars slowly catching up to us. As I battle with Gasly here, you can see that we are losing time. The cars ahead of us, the Ferrari for instance, has gone. So we're trying to maintain a good fast pace here, but we're also trying to maintain Gasly so that he stays behind us. Very close to the inside. We have no question of grip here, so we're able to get away a little bit. So now the tires are in the mid-20s, so 3 or 4% within the last lap and a half, and they are wearing fast. There's the other group of cars behind us again.
Gap to car in front is 21.4 seconds.
That's turn 15, and you can see here that we stretch out a little bit. Very close there out of the exit. And you'll want to anticipate him trying to come around through turn 1. You can see there our proximity indicator shows that he's right there, right behind us.
Be careful, we think you're going to start losing some tire grip around now.
So tire wear now in the 30%. And we have 4 laps left. So far this season, we found that if you get to about 43-45% wear with the Reds, the car becomes nearly undrivable. But I think we'll be able to make it to lap 20. And this is Carlos Sainz, 24 seconds ahead of us in the Ferrari. Looking at the leaders. This is Lewis Hamilton looking at Sergio Perez in the Red Bull. And ahead of him, Max Verstappen in the other Red Bull. You can see the McLarens are very fast. They're up there with the leaders. So this is where the race is right now. Back with the 66, you can see our tire wear is up to 37% on the left front, which is the one that will bear the most wear on this clockwise track. Quick look behind to see where Gasly is.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the softs. We're leading our teammate by 26.4 seconds.
Again, looking back at Gasly, we're waiting for an attack. However, he's on his first set of res just as we are, so he should be experiencing the same amount of wear, or nearly the same. And at this point, because we are close to our pit stop or our tire change, the most critical item that we have to manage are the tires right now. We will still have to do another couple of laps with these. So our goal is to stay on track. And you can see that there's a lot of laws in traction. Good getaway here from Gasly, but again, he has his DRS open, so he's able to catch right back up. Seven and 8. So here we are, coming to the end of
this lap, then.
lap 19, and we call for the pit. We are at 42% wear on the left front, which should be right on target. Very wide through there. Again, at this point we are struggling for grip. You can see that Gasly is almost beside us, coming in through 14. There's another example of the elevation change. As we dive into the pits, Gasly comes in right behind us, so he's going to cover our strategy. Another car coming in right behind us. I believe that is a Williams.
Go now.
2.4 seconds. Not a bad pit stop. And we are back to racing with Gasly. It looks like we've got a clear track behind us for now. So here's a replay of the pit stop. You can see that Gasly is right behind us. And 2.4 seconds happens very quickly. We are done and we're through. Riding back with Gasly, looking at the 66 just ahead. He's got a very good look there through turn 11. So both cars on fresh tires. You can see the distance that we put on Gasly just because he has got to lift a little bit through 15. A little bit of a lockup. Coming into 5.
The teammate behind is 7.9 seconds. Marino is in the pits. Marino in the pits. Gap to the car ahead is 16.5 seconds. Some information on Norris. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
Lap 23 now, still battling with Gasly right behind us. Through the very difficult exit out of 8. Turn 9, 10, 11. And it does look like that he was actually wheel to wheel with us when the proximity indicators turn red. That indicates that they are wheel to wheel or beside us. And again, there's the lift coming through 15. You can see that we do get away just enough so that when he uses this DRS, he can only catch us at the end. Turn 1 and 2 here, very difficult. You don't want to touch the curbs, especially the sausage curb. Turn 3, very squirmy coming out. Turn 5 again. Very hard to get the traction down. We actually had to take some air out of the rear tires just for the race. So if you look at the timing indicator on the upper left of the screen, it shows that we have a 5-second penalty. I believe that was for speeding in the pits. I did not see the warning when we were in the pits. And just ahead of us there is Lando Norris by 33 seconds. Last time around, we were told that he was having problems with his car, but obviously he's got it fixed. Riding with Pierre Gasly here. Let's see if he can make the distance coming down the main straight. You can see here that he does have a speed advantage as we come to turn 1. But again, he's just not far ahead enough or fast enough. So uphill out of turn 3, you can see that he has got traction problems as well. Turn 5 here, a couple of different ways to take that, early or late apex. And I believe the late apex has served very well, as we are able to accelerate a little bit sooner than if we took the early apex. But that just means that we have to brake and slow the car down much earlier. So very close here, coming through 11. Should be able to make a dive this time. You can see that he actually gets his car ahead of us. Oh, there's a big hit. Now on the lower right of the screen, I can't see indications of any damage.
Our gap to the car in front is 34.0 seconds.
Everything is still green, so we survived that one. And he is still just behind us, so obviously no damage to his car. And we have our damage here set to simulation, so any little hit to the car will make a big difference in damage. And fortunately we survived that one. So we do still have a group of cars behind us, but they're not making any headway getting up to us. And at this point, the 66 is basically driving backwards, trying to keep Gasly behind. So here we close off turn 1. Very poor exit out of 14, but we are still ahead. You can see the wear in the tires. We are at about 14%. and it is making a difference in the drivability. You can see that coming out of some of these turns that Pierre is actually very hard on the gas as his car kind of squirms a little bit under acceleration. We've been able to kind of reduce that or mitigate it a little bit by using the DRS starting in second gear as we accelerate out. As long as you don't have full throttle while using the DRS, the car actually accelerates a little bit better without losing traction. But if you use both DRS and full throttle at the same time, you'll lose traction accelerating all the way up past fourth gear. So you kind of have to learn how to just modulate it. So lap 29 now. Coming into 30.
New strategy is available on the MFD.
So I don't know why the pits are indicating a new strategy. It does show the strategy there on the lower right of your screen. However, when you're driving, it's very hard to look down there and read it.
Your MFD for a new strategy option.
So it may appear that the tires are wearing quickly as we have been racing with Gasly here. So they may be planning for an earlier pit.
Resulting in loose debris.
Oh, there's a hit.
Fortunately, the marshals have managed to clear it up in time. And
Gasly has hit us from behind.
Some information on Gasly. They are out of the race.
And he is out of the race.
Our delta is too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
That was a major hit. However, I don't feel any problems with the car at this point. Here's a replay. Coming out of 3, going through 4. Turn 5, everything is clear. We did go very wide there, but it doesn't look like he was able to make up too much ground. Any different than before, but you can see here that he's very close. Hard to accelerate out of turn 8. 9, 10, and you can see here that he was probably planning on diving through turn 11 as we've been slow through there, but obviously the door was closed, and you can see here at slow motion that he did hit us fairly hard. I'm kind of surprised there's no damage to the 66 with Gasly losing a wing and a wheel, ending his race for the day. You can see there our wing is still intact. So lap 31 of 66. We did slow down to keep our delta from the car ahead of us, and you can see that the group of cars that have been waiting in the background are now up to us, and right behind us is an AlphaTauri. There is an Alpine, actually 2 Alpines. under full course yellow. You can see here that we are trying to catch up to the safety car queue. We no longer have to keep our delta. And we are pretty much at race speed. However, we're not racing and the cars behind are not allowed to pass. There's the queue just ahead of us. So this will be 33 laps once we cross the line, and our pit stop is supposed to be lap 40, so we're only 7 laps from our pit stop. And you can see right here that we decided to come in ahead of time. Make sure that we've got our pit speed limiter. So we are 6 laps ahead of our pit stop. The extra 6 laps are actually very doable with the yellows as they are put on. You can see there that we've got 5 seconds before anybody can work on the car, and that is our penalty being served.
Look after these tires now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
So, fresh set of yellows, and we are looking for the end of the race with these tires. Now, our advantage here, why we pitted during the full course yellow, is that we should be able to still catch up to the tail end of the safety car queue, and that will actually save us. You can see there in the very far background the other cars coming through the straight. So coming in early is going to save us a lot of time, as the other cars are not racing at full speed. And that may give us maybe about 20 or 30 seconds advantage. So here we are at the end of the line. And mathematically here, everybody is about 2 to 5 seconds ahead of us. So once they make their pit stop, we may be 20 to 30 seconds ahead of them. And I believe...
green flag.
There we are, perfect timing, right into the green flag. And we've got a fresh set of yellows. So I believe everybody is at least on a 2-stop. You can see here that, whoa, we are approaching the back markers. These are cars we're lapping. There's a big hit there. You can see there's a Haas. Looks like somebody lost the wing, another Haas. A few cars way off track on the right.
There's been an...
So all those cars that we are passing, they are being blue flagged because we did pit ahead of them on the track. We are still considered to be ahead, although some of them do have damage. So lap 36 here, we are in 10th place. Certainly that pit stop was advantageous to us. Very good timing. Now the question is, how good will these tires be near the end of the race as we are racing? You can see there that we are passing one of the Williams, a back marker. It looks like just ahead of us is our teammate, again Marino Sato, in the other driving Immersion. And hopefully this time we come through, he'll just let us by. And it looks like we'll be approaching him down the straight. If you remember last race, he decided to race us down the straight, draft us with his DRS, and pass us into turn 1, holding us back for a couple of turns. This time around, we don't have our DRS available. However, we are catching up to him. He lets us by as he gets the blue flag. So just ahead of us there, you can see there was an AlphaTauri. I believe that is Sonoda. And then one of the Alfa Romeos, I believe that might be Vettel. And at this point, we have the newest tires on the track. So hopefully we'll be making up some time between. Very good view of turn 13. So ahead of us there in timing is Sonoda, but it's not Alonso, it is Esteban Ocon in the other Alpine. We do have Alonso behind us now, 3 seconds. So looking ahead at the leaders, you can see that Sergio Perez is in the lead. No, I'm sorry, that's Max Verstappen is in the lead. Sergio is second with Hamilton in tow. And they're all within a second of each other. And they are still all on their reds. We do have Daniel Ricciardo here. He is on his yellow, so he may have had his second stop already. And at this point, if the 3 cars ahead of him with the red tires are starting to slow down, he'll be able to catch up. And you can see there that he does have somebody in sight. That would be Valtteri Bottas, according to timing. Riding here with Carlos Sainz, looking at both of the McLarens. Back with a 66, behind Carlos Sainz. And nope, that's still the AlphaTauri and the Alpine ahead of us. So we'll be looking for some stops here within the next few laps from the other cars. On board with Sonoda, looking back at Esteban Ocon. Looks like both cars are pretty well matched. They're both toe-to-toe at this point, or nose-to-tail. And just coming into the foreground there is the 66. Down the main straight, you can see here that Esteban Ocon is not able to advance too far, even though he has the DRS available to him. Again, with the 66 just appearing there in the background. Very wide through turn 11. Through turn 14, you just have to sacrifice, even if it's a slow turn, just as long as you can put yourself in the right place at the right time here. Accelerating out, you can see the two cars ahead coming in for a pit. So this is Tsunoda and Ocon coming in for their second set of tires. Yellow tires for Ocon. Back with a 66. We are just ahead of Lando Norris, who was earlier having problems with his car and slowing down. At one point he was 33 seconds ahead of us, so this may have been the advantage of the early pit stop. Riding here clear of any traffic. Hopefully we can take this time to make up some time and conserve the tires. These yellows will be lasting 6 laps longer than anybody else's. So hopefully that won't be a detriment to us at the end. So looking at the timing on the upper left of the screen, you can see that Ricardo has made a pit. He is on the yellows as well. We did lose some time to Norris, about 3 seconds within the last 3 laps. So he is going a little bit faster, although
the car in front is 14.9 seconds.
His tires are newer at this point. So lap 43, we are actually in 6th place, which is a very good place considering we started in 16th. So again, the early pit stop is paying off right now. Still losing time to the 2 McLarens. Again, we're down to 2.3 and 3.6. So it's actually quite a lot of time that we're losing to them. They are fast this year, and again, both cars have newer tires. Daniel Ricciardo should only have about 1 or 2 laps on those tires, so he'll have a lot of speed and steam coming to us. Riding here with Daniel Ricciardo, you can see the 66 just ahead. And he does not have to lift through 15. So he'll be making up a lot of time here. And all of a sudden, I believe that is a Mercedes that comes out of the pits. We try to take our place through turn 3. Bang wheels a little bit. Very dangerous. And right away he's able to open up his DRS. He should be right under our wing as we come out. So at this point we're racing with the front runners. And I'm giving them as much trouble as I can. So you can see there that we've got a Mercedes and 2 McLarens, all much faster cars, and we are ahead. So the Mercedes there does have a lot of speed. He does have his DRS, and I'm unable to answer. However, I beat him into turn 1. Takes me off track a little bit, and one of the McLarens gets through. I believe that is Lando Norris. I do still have the Mercedes behind us. It would take quite a miracle to be able to get back around that McLaren. At this point, you can see that that's Daniel Ricciardo that got past us. You can see there that he's demonstrating a lot of speed. Big mistake there with the big lockup coming into turn 8. You can see the Mercedes just sweeps by. And again, I would have no answer for him. And you can see here that the McLaren comes around, and we do have a damaged front wing as a result. And I am calling for a pit here.
Take you this lap. Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
So I changed my mind right away. Instead of coming in, I believe last race we came in and they put on a set of white tires. I did not get to confirm with the pit strategy which tires they are going to put on. I certainly don't want a set of white tires at this point of the race, so I will wait and make sure that, here we go,
Confirmed.
we are checking the pit strategy. We are back to another set of yellows, and this time we will come in and certainly change the tires, but we are going to have to fix that wing. With about 9 laps left to go, I have to come in and change my wing, but it would be disadvantageous to come in and change the tires into white tires. We're not going to be that much faster with the yellows, but we will at least be faster than we would be if we had the white tires. And it's a good thing that we turned out of the pit lane before we got in. Here we go, we should be coming in. And we should see a wing change. There is a car behind us. Can't quite make out who that is. It looks like nope, can't tell who it is. So there's our front wing. And there is a change. You can see there that it is several seconds longer to change a wing as opposed to just tires. That is one of the Williams that came in. I believe we are not racing with him. So now we come out just ahead of Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll in the Alfa Romeos. No, sorry, Aston Martins. And the two cars behind Vettel there are not in the race. They're actually lap cars. So lap 48, our strategy has been thrown away with an unexpected pit stop to change the front wing and a change the set of tires. So now we should be able to go as hard as we can. However, the yellows are not as fast as the reds. We did not have a new set of reds. Very messy there. So we had to put on yellows. It would be great if we had a second or third set of reds. But lap 49, we are in 11th place. We are 20 seconds behind Fernando Alonso. Even if we had the red tires, I don't believe that we would be able to make that up. So we're going to just try to maintain status quo here. We are able to go long on these tires, or at least past the end of the race. And we have Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll right behind. So I believe that's our teammate again. We are going to lap him. time around, we have our DRS open.
You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 per lap.
There we go. And hopefully he does not come back to try to race us. That is an Alpine just ahead of us, but that is not the Alpine of Fernando Alonso. So we are not racing with him. So there we go, wide a little bit, coming out of 15.
The gap to the car ahead is 20.9
And again,
seconds.
if you don't hit the apex correctly, you may have to either lift or go off course a little bit. Now rejoining just ahead of us, that is one of the I believe that's one of the Aston Martins again, but that's not obviously that's not Vettel. So there is somebody right behind us, very close. So lap 51, we have a couple of Alfa Romeos right behind us. One of them is Sebastian Vettel, and the other one we're not racing with. So Vettel's still very close. Within a second, he'll have his DRS open right here. And again, not that long of a straight, so he's not able to get by. Again, you can see there that we've got a couple of a couple of Aston Martins behind us. Oh, very wide through there. Lucky to survive that. Riding with Sebastian Vettel, who's right behind us. He does have his DRS open at this point. You can see that he is catching up. And very much like Pierre Gasly earlier, not enough room. Not enough room to get by. We will have another DRS zone right here. And that one is much shorter. A little bit of a lock up there with the 66. very close to turn 11 there, and that's one of our weak points. Turn 14. Again, he's got a lift through turn 15, and we're able to stretch out our distance a little bit. He's still within 1 second, so he's able to activate his DRS. Turn 5. You can see that both cars are struggling with traction to accelerate out of turn 5. Very close again. Through 13. So you can see there that we're pulling off the racing line a little bit. We don't want to be towing these two cars down the main straight. We are racing with Sebastian Vettel, who is right behind us. The other car, Lance Stroll, is a lapped vehicle, so we're not racing with him. But our mirrors are full of Aston Martins. And as we are nearing the end of the race, we are looking for one of these cars to sneak by fortuitously. So we can see there that Lance Stroll does have a set of reds on, and that's why he's able to keep up very easily, even though he's a lapped vehicle. Coming out of 15, we've got a good stretch ahead of Sebastian Vettel. And he is just popping into our proximity sensor as we are closing into turn 1. And again, just like earlier, we are slowing down because we are racing the car behind us. And after the third race, our team is actually doing a lot of R&D work on the car. We are actually using up all of our resource points to advance the technology. But you can see here that we are not that much faster, and we are still basically third tier on the circuit. However, we are successfully staying ahead of Sebastian Vettel here. You can see that we do stretch out coming in through 14 and 15. We've got a good distance here, and he does not have his DRS available to him at this lap. Oh, very slow there, coming in through turn 3, lap 57. big lock up there from the 66. You can see that Vettel has an advantage with his newer tires through the slow and curvy sections of the track.
Gap to car in front is 28.9 seconds. Blue flag.
So we are starting to get the blue flag warning here. Lap 58. There is a Red Bull right behind us. And you always got to make sure.
Racing the car behind.
So we're going to let him go here as we slow down. And then as he turns left, we are going to pinch the turn so that no other cars can come around. Another Red Bull looking behind. We're going to let him go as well. Doing the same thing and pinching the turn so that no one else can come around. That's a Mercedes behind us. Gonna let him go.
Blue flag, blue flag.
So the front runners are all very close together. And I believe there's another one behind. That is a Ferrari. I'm gonna let him go. As soon as I'm able to pinch in right after him.
Create a gap
there
and
we
let the car
are.
behind through.
So I close the apex. And no one else can get by, which is very fortunate because you can see here that both of the Aston Martins are very close and they appear to be racing each other. However, Lance Stroll is a lap behind. I get a little bit of a pull from the Ferrari and I'm gonna let him by coming in through turn 1. I will eventually have to let him go anyway. Again, Vettel's very close. All it takes is one little mistake, leaving the door open. There's a lot of turns, a lot of braking and acceleration points. Where he can come in. Very tidy through turn 11 here. 13 and 14. We're still able to keep him behind, and that is the goal right now. Again, driving offline because I don't want to tow anybody down the main straight. He does have his DRS, but again, he's still just not fast enough to get to turn 1 before we do. Lap 60 now, and I believe these yellow tires are 15 laps old. We have in the past taken the set of yellow tires to 43 laps. However, at this point we are very much racing with somebody with newer tires, and 43 laps on these tires will be much slower than we're going right now with Sebastian Vettel in tow. And you can see here that I don't have anybody in front of me, so my DRS is not open. So this is a replay. I believe This is the DNF. Cars expiring down the main straight, and that is one of the Alfa Romeos. I believe that's Giovinazzi. Yep, he's pulling off. And I believe he's just going to pull off here on the left. Yep, done for the day. So we let the McLaren through. He came in through very fast. Now we're still getting a blue flag. There's another Mercedes that we have to let through. Unfortunately, the timing screen does not indicate where they are on the track. You kind of have to decipher it by the timing that's there. So when you do get the blue flag, you always got to look back and make sure that it is who it is. Before you let somebody through. So there's a yellow flag. I don't know who that was for, but we're back to green flag racing. Very short period there. You can see that Vettel is very racy now. And we can't quite answer him with our tires at this age. Lap 62, 4 laps to go. After we cross the start-finish line. And we are going to have to do everything that we can to keep Vettel back. I think in the past I would have probably just tried to push him off the track through one of the turns. However, we have the damage turned on to simulation, so it's very likely that I would experience some damage as well if I had a collision with anyone. So we're doing okay right here through the main straight and start finish line, and if we can keep this up, crossing the finish line, we should be good. It almost doesn't matter if he gets close here as long as we are faster when we cross the start finish line. So right behind us, Sebastian Vettel, Lance Stroll, and I believe that is Nicholas Latifi in the second Williams. There is a fifth car that just showed up on the screen. So very racy here. Sebastian Vettel is actually doing very well to keep up with us. Again, as we start the 64th lap, 2 laps to go. Vettel gets close into turn 1. 3. So Lance Stroll in the second Aston Martin is actually very fast, being able to keep up with us at this point. And it's because he's got the center reds on. I'm kind of surprised that he doesn't try to get by his teammate, although that's probably part of the strategy, as he doesn't want to race him. But at least he could try to unlap himself. But now our problem here is that we got a couple of Aston Martins behind us. You can see that a McLaren has popped in again right behind.
Blue flag, blue flag.
So here we get the blue flag. I believe that would be for Lando Norris. And he's 4 cars behind. So we're waiting to,
There's
well,
3 laps of fuel remaining.
there goes Sebastian Vettel. And you can see here that there is Lando Norris. He gets clipped. Damage to his front wing. But now we have let Sebastian Vettel go through. Lap 65. So we mistakenly had him go through. We thought it was Lando Norris that was being weighed by. He was quite a ways back coming into the turn. And that's how you can see that Vettel had
pick up
snuck
rubber,
through.
Bring it home.
And that would be the second time in 3 races that he's able to pass us on the very last lap. I believe he's starting to become one of our rivals that we'll have to choose here.
Here in Portimao, in what has been another outstanding Grand Prix.
So very good finish.
So Anthony, what made
Not
the
quite
difference
the
out there today?
Well, the
points
safety
finish
car
that we
completely
desired,
changed the race,
but
didn't
we
it?
were
It's hard to
the
say
driver
exactly
for the
what might
day,
have happened without it, but
which
there's
is
no
rewarding
question
enough.
that they came out of that situation in a good position.
And it looks like that Red Bull scored a 1-2.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team.
With Hamilton
they
in
performed
third place.
exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team. A result that will make Sergio Perez happy as he pushes his championship lead out even further. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to the Professor. They pushed and found some fantastic performance. It was just a pleasure to watch.
Let's move on to the constructors. Red Bull pull further ahead in the standings. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
So no points today after a points finish in the first race. But it was still a very hard-fought race. Again, Sebastian Vettel was able to sneak by on the very last lap, close to the very last turn, very much like he did in the last race. So that is going to do it for the Grand Prix of Portugal in Portimao. If you made it this far, thanks for watching and thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, and we'd appreciate any comments of the race that you may have. And we'll see you next time.